Welcome to the Dosh Report, where we cite news from around the world to expose the New World Order. Well, today we're talking about how in the Cold War, the countries involved in the Cold War tried to depopulate the Earth to 500 million people, but extraterrestrial vehicles kept on stopping them. Now they have to resort to terrorism. From wanttoknow.info, Captain Robert L. Salas graduated from the U.S. Air Force Academy and spent 7 years in active duty from 1964 to 1971. He also held positions at Martin, Marietta, and Rockwell and spent 21 years at the FAA. In the Air Force, he was an air traffic controller and a missile launch officer, as well as an engineer on the Titan III missiles.
At this time, the main guard was very frightened. You could tell by his voice he was very scared. He had all the guards out there with all their weapons drawn. And he said, "Sir, we're looking at a glowing red oval object. It's pulsating, and it's just hovering or sitting right outside the front gate." And he was scared to death, wanted me to tell him what to do next. I think I told him to make sure nothing comes in the perimeter fence. At that point, we disconnected the call, and I went to tell my commander about this, thinking that we possibly could be under some sort of an attack. Again, we were underground. We're obligated to stay down there, so neither of us could go up and take a look at this object. But at that time, when I started telling about the object, our missiles started going into what's called a no-go condition or unlaunchable condition.
And what would it take to put your missiles into an unlaunchable position? Because I imagine that's something you wouldn't have happen normally.
In this case, we had a way of querying the system, and what happened was the guidance and control system package failed. In other words, there was some kind of a signal sent to the guidance and control system that resulted in the shutting down of the missiles.
From abcnews.go, an unidentified flying object forced Zhoushan Airport in Hangzhou, China, to cease operations on July 7th. A flight crew preparing for descent first detected the object around 8:40 p.m. and notified the Air Traffic Control Department. Aviation authorities responded within minutes, grounding outbound flights and diverting inbound ones to airports in Ningbo and Wuxi. 18 flights were affected. Though normal operations resumed an hour later, the incident captured the attention of the Chinese media and sparked a firestorm of speculation. From bbc.co.uk, the video filmed by pilots using an infrared camera shows 11 bright objects moving rapidly in the sky. The objects were reported to be invisible to the eye. The pilots turned on the infrared camera to track them after 3 of them were picked up by the radar. From thoughtco.com, who are the sun gods and goddesses? Who is the sun god? That varies by religion and tradition. In ancient cultures, where you find deities with specialized functions, you'll probably find a sun god or goddess, or several within the same religious tradition. Riding across the sky, many sun gods and goddesses are humanoid, and ride or drive a vessel of some sort across the sky. It may be a boat, a chariot, or a cup. The sun god of the Greeks and Romans, for example, rode in a 4-horse Pyrrhus, Eos, Aethon, and Phlegon chariots. Yeah, so all these old stories about gods and sun gods could possibly be extraterrestrials, and now they're trying to stop our planet from being ruined by nuclear war. But I don't think they'll stop countries fighting with terrorism and bullets. They just don't want the Earth to be screwed up by the nuclear fallout. So thanks for watching the Dosh Report, and see you next time.